Alright, what's up folks? Welcome back to another video. In this week's video, we're going to be talking about the crew stage at ATP. We're going to talk about my whole experience and kind of why we do it, how many times I flew, the hotels we stayed in, where I did my crew. Yeah, basically everything. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Luke, and if you're not new, welcome back. The whole goal of my channel is to document and share my experience towards becoming an airline pilot, to hopefully motivate and inspire you guys, to give you a glimpse of what it takes to become an airline pilot, and then also just to film and create aviation content because it's what I enjoy and love doing. So if that seems of interest to you, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment if you have any videos that you would like me to make or questions that you would want me to answer. So if you're curious what crew is and what I mean when I say that and why we do that, I'll explain that to you real quick. So after you pass your instrument check ride at ATP or at any flight school, typically you'll then go and work on your commercial certificate. To become a commercial pilot. Now, in order to receive your commercial certificate, you need to have 250 flight hours. 50 of those can be from a simulator. Now, when I finished my instrument check ride, I can't remember how many hours I was at exactly, but you don't need to spend that entire amount of time from your instrument check ride to all the way to 200 hours solely working on maneuvers. So what they do is they'll pair you up with another student pilot who's in your similar shoes in the program, who's an instrument rated private pilot. And you'll go and you'll just file IFR flight plans anywhere in the country, wherever they send you. For me, it was in Texas. And then you just go fly all day together and you're just building your hours. And then once you come back from crew, then you use the remainder of your time that you need to get for the maneuvers and things like that. So as far as the timeline for me, I had my instrument check ride in week 20 of my program on August 6th. 2 days later, I had a crew eval where I went and I flew with a lead instructor. And we were basically simulating what it's going to be like on this crew phase of the program. So we flew up to Idaho Falls, I believe, and I was able to take a landing from the right seat. So that was super fun. You do that just in case if the pilot who is flying in the left seat during crew, if he becomes incapacitated for any reason, then you at least have one landing in the right seat, so you know you can do it. So we did that crew eval on Thursday, August 8th. And then 2 days later actually it was on Friday, the next day, I was looking at my schedule and all of a sudden I saw on my schedule that on Saturday I had a flight in Texas with another student. And so I called flight ops and I said, okay, I'm ready to go. So they booked me a flight that night from Salt Lake to, I think it was Dallas or Houston, I can't remember where I started. So then crew started on Saturday morning, and I'll just go through quick and tell you how many times we flew each day and kind of the general locations. So on Saturday, we just flew 2 times, and the flights are all typically about 2 to 3.5 hours-ish usually. We flew from Ellington to Baton Rouge to Conroe, and then on the 11th, so Sunday, we had 4 flights. That was a long day. It was almost like 10 hours of flight time. Flew around to Baton Rouge, Alexandria, Ellington, Baton Rouge again, Ellington, and then on Monday, we flew 3 times, and for that one, they airlined us up to Oklahoma. And then we flew to Monroe to Baton Rouge to Ellington. And then on the 13th, I just had 1 flight. So on that, let's see, that was a Tuesday. We just went to Arlington. And then on the 14th, I had 4 flights. So that was another long day. We went from Arlington, Conroe, Arlington, San Antonio, Georgetown. So it was kind of all over the place. Lots of flying, but it was fun. And then I had a flight the next morning on the 15th of August, and we just flew back to Arlington, and then I was done with crew. And I had hit about, I think, 31 flight hours, 32, somewhere around there. Now, as far as logistically, kind of how everything works on crew, basically you'll get an Uber. They have an Uber business account, so you're not paying for the Ubers, obviously. So you'll get an Uber to the airport, you meet your crew partner, and then you go to your flight. And every so flights or every couple days, you'll probably change a crew partner when they finish. And then once you finish your flights for the day, you'll get an Uber they'll book you a hotel. You go to the hotel, or they'll airline you to another airport that they want you to be at, maybe in a different state. That only happened to me once. The hotels, for the most part, will typically have a washing machine and a dryer. So they tell you to pack about 3 days worth of clothing, and then also laundry materials, so detergent, so that way you can wash your clothes. I did that just one time on the trip, so it worked out great. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to it. I really enjoyed crew. In Utah, where I do most of my flying, we're not really able to file IFR flight plans a whole bunch because the MEAs, the minimum en route altitudes, that you need to fly at for these flight plans are too high for our Cessnas to get up to, because just right here, I mean, a couple miles away, we have mountains that are 12,000 feet, so we can't get the adequate clearance over those mountains to file IFR. So it was really fun. I did all of my stuff pretty much in Texas, a little bit in Louisiana, Oklahoma, where out there it's pretty flat, so terrain's not as, I guess, entertaining as here in Utah, but I was also able to fly in the clouds for the first time for a little bit, so that was a super awesome experience, just to kind of rely on your instrument training, and then also not to have an instructor sitting in the seat was fun. It kind of allows you to have a little more freedom, realize, hey, I'm the actual pilot in command during this flight. Everything is on me, you know, I have full responsibility. So I think it was a good experience for a new pilot like me. Now that's all I have for this video, pretty much. As far as what you can expect for the rest of the program, we are going to finish my commercial training, going to learn all the maneuvers, knowledge, everything like that. Then I'll move on to my certified flight instructor stage, where I hopefully can become a CFI. And then I believe after that you do your COM multi add-on, and then you do MEI and CFII, and then you're done with the program. So hopefully we can get it all done before the end of the year, but stay tuned. Thanks again for watching and subscribing. I really appreciate your guys' support. And again, leave a comment if you have a video you want me to make, or you can email me. My email is in the description. So have a good one and safe flying.